here are our key pointers for optimising your standing posture. So the key pointers are, if you can imagine, you can go to a mirror yourself, and sometimes this helps to look in a mirror. But if you find the outside hip bone and then look in the mirror, it should line up through the knee to roughly just above or just in front of that ankle bone. So that should be a relatively straight line, and it can be very common for the hip bones to be sagging forward in front of the ankle bones. When that happens, you've got more pressure on the front of your hips. You've also got more pressure in the lower back, and the core has a hard time working. So try to make sure that your hip bones line up with your ankle bones, so you'll have a little bit more weight through your heels. Now your heel bones are really solid, strong bones. They're designed to take the weight, so you should have about 2/3 of your body weight through your heels. For some people, not everybody, but for some people, they'll also have knees that tend to bend backwards. If your knee bends backwards like a banana, it is nicer to have slightly softer knees when you're standing for a long period of time. The next key tip that I'll often talk through is if you can imagine a point just from the middle of your chest to just above your pelvis. And those 2 points in the mirror should also relatively stack up. The very common thing is for the chest to be behind the pelvis, which again puts pressure on the lower back and then strain on the neck. So you need to be able to make sure that your chest or your heart space lifts just a little up and forward, and it shouldn't feel rigid. Some people go too far and then end up being stiff between the shoulder blades. You don't want that. It should feel fairly light. So just lifting your chest slightly up and forward, so that way your chest stacks over your pelvis correctly. From there, you can also imagine, if you're just relaxing your arms, that the back of the neck stays nice and long. Now, the other key point that I'll share with you is, very often if you're standing for long periods of time, and this is probably more common in women, especially if they've recently had little bubs, is to not spend a lot of time hanging on one hip, because when that happens, again, it puts a lot of asymmetrical load through the hips and the spine. So if you stand relatively evenly with the weight through your heels, your chest a little lifted up and forward, what will happen is that you can breathe a little easier, your core muscles have a better chance of working, and you're optimising the load through your spine and pelvis.